Hello, it's Ben here from the United View on a very, very special day. Yes, it's election day, but more importantly, Memphis Depay has become a Manchester United player. Well, minus a few minor little bits and pieces that needs to go on behind the scene. The club confirmed it around about 15 to 20 minutes ago. Breaking news from a load of Dutch journalists as well around about an hour ago. And we're lucky to be joined by Martin from Total Dutch Football as well. Martin, how are you doing, mate?
I'm alright. Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem. Now, we was talking about this last night, and to your credit, to Total Dutch Football's credit, and all the Dutch journalists out there, you turned around and said 100% Memphis Depay United player this summer could be announced as early as tomorrow. How did this all break over in the Netherlands?
There was some discussion about Depay. There was some doubts because he was also downing between Liverpool and United, but I'm guessing the edge was Louis van Gaal in this whole transfer.
Yeah, well, how big a factor do you reckon, Martin, was Louis van Gaal?
He's been a father figure for Depay and the other youngsters in the World Cup, so I'm guessing that most young players would love to play underneath Louis van Gaal.
Yeah, and of course Memphis Depay and Van Gaal have a good relationship, don't they? So what do you reckon is Depay's emotions right now, having to be going back to this father figure and also signing for a club like Manchester United?
It was known that Depay would love to play at United, but yeah, of course PSV could ask anything they want because they recently extended his contract. So I guess he is really relieved that he got his dream club.
Yeah, and his dream club, Adam Sweeney, is Manchester United. As United fans, as a United fan yourself, how happy are you with this signing?
Yeah, I'm delighted, mate. I think it's a great signing. I think. Listen, I kind of want to be really excited about Depay, and I am, but I think it's great that we've got business done early. It shows an intent. You know, I think having come off the back of 3 losses now, I think seeing that we're going in the right direction with Van Gaal, I think this is a great indicator that we're going to move on. And Depay himself is a great sign. I mean, I'd actually like to ask really what PSV fans would think of this. Do they think it's a good move for him? Do they think he should be moving on? I mean, that would be my question.
Yeah, they've become champions in the Netherlands because of him and Wijnaldum. Before the season, they said against PSV, we're gonna be with PSV for another year to become champions, and afterwards we are hoping for the transfer we will get. So I'm guessing PSV is happy with the transfer fee. Of course, not happy that he left the club, but yeah, it's one of the biggest clubs in the world, so there's no competing against that.
Yeah, no, I've got a quick say, Martin, just actually talking about the transfer from PSV's point of view. What figures are being mentioned to you for the transfer price? On top of that, will Januzaj be going the other way on loan? Has that been discussed? And also, when will all the formalities be signed? Is he coming to Manchester today?
Yeah, he's come to Manchester today. He will have his last training with PSV this morning, and afterwards he's gonna take a flight to Manchester. And it's a subject to a medical.
Right,
So
okay. And what about prices, mate?
I'm sorry?
What about a price? Do you know anything about a price or the Januzaj deal?
According to Dutch journalist Rick Elfrink, it's rumored to be around 22 million pounds.
Yeah, I think it's about 30 million euros, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, it's around 30
like
million
so.
euros indeed.
So
Which, given the exchange rate at the minute, it's not that bad. So.
Well, we've worked it out well now. How old is Depay as well, Martin? Isn't he 20, 21?
Yeah, he's only 21, but he has been dominating the Eredivisie for like season and a half, 2 seasons.
Oh, it's mad. £22 million for such a player like that, Adam. We've got to be happy with this.
Yeah, I mean, I think the age is a great age because you know you look at the struggle Angel Di Maria's had when he's come in. I think the price tag didn't help that, and I think you know there's not a lot as a player you can do about a price tag. If a club like Manchester United comes in for Angel Di Maria like they did and spends nearly £70 million, then instantly you've got that pressure on your head. I think Depay will obviously have an element of pressure. He's at Manchester United. He's at arguably one of the biggest clubs in the world, if not the biggest. And I think that transfer fee being, relatively modest in comparison to some of the other fees that we've seen, and given his age, I think just takes that little bit of pressure off him. I think I want to see a player like that come and enjoy playing in the Premier League. Yes, they've got to perform, but I think it's a great move for him. It's at a great time. Like Martin was just saying, he's been dominating Dutch football. So I don't see any reason why he can't come in as a fresh-faced youngster and do something that we've not seen for a little while. I'm not trying to compare him to Ronaldo because he's a one-off, but he came in at a very young age. He was a little bit rough. He'd been playing well in, a league that was slightly substandard to the Premier League, and he came in. Took him a little bit of time to settle, but when he did, look at what kind of player we ended up achieving. So I think it's a great signing. I think all factors coming together make this a superb signing. I really do.
Yeah, and he is a very good young talent. And also, Martin, just coming back to you, obviously, as a lover of Dutch football, there have been reports, I can't remember what coach it was, but a coach, Adam will probably be able to correct me on this, a guy who watches the headlines and looks at a lot of interviews. Ronaldo and Depay, there's been similarities linked. Someone came out and said that actually Depay is better at his age than Ronaldo was. What do you make of that link, Martin? What would you say to that?
Yeah, that's correct. There was a Dutch scout at United a few years back. He discovered Cristiano Ronaldo, and he said about Depay that Depay is at this age better than Ronaldo was at his age. So that's a promising.
It's not a bad accolade, that really, is it, Martin?
Puts a little bit of pressure on you, eh?
That is true. That is true.
I mean, as a player,
sorry to cut you there, but I think actually though that is something that let's get excited about it. Of course, we've got to. We did, we got excited last summer as well, but I think that's where we've got to be careful as fans. We got really excited about Falcao, and it didn't quite work out the same with Di Maria. I think we need to let a young player like Depay come and enjoy his football first. Don't start. I've just done it, so I'm guilty of it as well. But we can't start piling this Ronaldo pressure on him just yet. Of course, he's coming into a big club. We need him to produce, but let him enjoy his football. Let him come in, and as soon as you let someone like that have a little bit of free reign and a little bit of enjoyment, I think that's when you really start to see the results from them. So as much as we'll all make these comparisons, myself included, I think it's worth noting that he is only 21 and there's a lot of growing room in him. So we can be excited and we can be patient all at the same time.
Yeah, I completely agree, Adam. And also, Martin, just for people who have just switched us on, who are just watching now, just double check confirming Depay United this summer, set to be sorted out in June. £22 million, you reckon, right? 30 million euros, and he should be coming into Manchester today. Is that all correct?
Yes, it's a done deal, subject to medical.
Will he have the medical today? Do you know, or will that not be allowed to go through until June?
I've read from Dutch journalists that he will go to Manchester, and the last couple of things like a medical will be completed today.
Right.
I would have thought it'll all be completed, and then it'll be when the transfer window opens that it'll actually be confirmed with the leagues. I would have thought.
Oh, right, so that's like the money handover situation.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the contract talks with him. I think obviously everything's been sorted out with PSV, provided personal terms can be agreed, which I can't see them not being, and then a medical as well. I would have thought it then give it till June when officially all the paperwork can be put through with the various different bodies.
I mean, it's all exciting, isn't it, Martin? And to be honest, people asking now, who do you reckon is next for United? Memphis Depay signed. Is there anything in Holland about maybe the Gundogan deal? Anything else being whispered and mentioned around the tabloids?
We haven't heard anything from Eredivisie players to United, but it's a well-known fact that Louis van Gaal is a really big fan of Stefan de Vrij from Lazio. So if there is in need of a defensive transfer, I'm guessing he will have a look at De Vrij. But that's just my 2 cents. I won't be saying that it's a done deal or that he's interested in him, but it could be the next Dutchman.
Well, fingers crossed we could end up like a Dutch World Cup side. They didn't do too badly, did they? A lot of nice comments in the comment box. Hello to Dead, to Adnan11, Alexon212, Andy Harris is in there, Jordan Brush is in there as well, saying we shouldn't compare with Ronaldo. There will never be a player like Ronaldo again. However, also Martin, just quickly coming back to you, as Dutch football goes, and in terms of talents within Dutch football, when there's a young lad like Memphis Depay, it's a bit hard not to get carried away with him, isn't it?
Yeah, he played at PSV and he was arguably the best. There was no one better than him. So there wasn't really one play to correct him. So I'm guessing that will be a transition for him, that players like Michael Carrick or Wayne Rooney will shout at him if he loses the ball, do something stupid. So I'm guessing that will be a slight adjustment for him, but that's the only thing. I'm guessing his level is right up there. He's good enough for United.
I mean, what a time for him to move as well. You know, we're looking at, you know, I was talking before from a United point of view of what a great move it is for us, given the age and the fee. But what a great move for him as well. You know, coming under Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal's rebuilding. He's not found a team yet. You know, he's clearly a bit of a father figure to him as well. He was with the Dutch side, and he has been for a long time, given some of the personal problems that Depay has had. So, what a time for him to move. You know, if you look at all his other options, say he had free reign over all the top clubs in the world, this could be the most comfortable for him to settle in. You know, and Van Gaal knows him, which I think for someone of that age is great. Surely Louis van Gaal can get the right balance between making sure that he's on his toes and making sure that he doesn't kind of have this crisis of confidence that we've seen with Di Maria. So I think for both parties, I think that's one of the reasons I was never particularly worried about him moving to Liverpool. I think everything seems to fit really well for United and for Depay. I think it's a great move both ways.
Yeah, and I've got to say, Adam, in terms of the United team right now, what we're looking at, we're saying we haven't got enough going forward. You know, we might need someone out there to replace. Well, no, we need someone out there to replace Young. We need some more world-class talent in the side. Is Depay that guy for you? Where would he fit into the United team?
I think he's partly that guy. You know, I think we've seen lots of different systems early on in the season. I think we did settle on the correct system eventually. The past 3 games have been a little bit tough, and I think we've lacked pace. And I said this on the radio yesterday, that we've not just lacked pace with legs. You know, we've lacked pace in the mind. And I think we need someone to come in and just freshen things up. You know, we're looking a little bit stale. We're looking a little bit out of ideas, regardless of how Van Gaal sets us up. We just seem, I think, given the fact that we've not really challenged for anything this season, you know, we've had very few games. We've got very bored of the way we've seen us play, and I think bringing someone like Memphis in is a great way of just freshening things up. Forget about position for a moment. His new ideas, you know, we've not got many Dutch flair players in the side. You know, obviously we brought Blind in, but you wouldn't call him a flair player, and we know that Dutch are renowned for their flair players. So I think that's a great start. And for me, he'd probably go out on the left. If I was to put him in the side right now, I would take out maybe Ashley Young and put him on the left. And personally, I would like then to see Angel Di Maria in on the other side. I think if you can get both of them two firing, fit, working on both wings, I mean, what a side that could potentially be. You know, it's going to take time, but if you've got Angel Di Maria and Memphis Depay on either wing, Jesus, man. I mean, we've got some.
You're forgetting Bale. He's a United player, isn't he?
well, if you listen to some of the journalists, he is. But you know, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind Gareth Bale. I don't think we need. Look, I don't think we need Gareth Bale. I think we've brought in Memphis Depay. We've got a great star in the making there. He's not there yet. Great star in the making. And I think, again, when you look at the price, that's like the price of 4 Bales. Sorry, it's 4 Depays would be a Bale. And I just think it's a lot of money for Gareth Bale. And we need to start looking at a little bit more long term. Yes, Gareth Bale isn't that old, but he's had a tough time in Madrid, and I think that bringing him in for that amount of money when we've got someone like Angel Di Maria and then Memphis Depay seems a little bit strange to me. I think we need younger players. I think that's why when if we look beyond this transfer, someone like Nathaniel Klein could be a great signing because he's young. He's still played relatively. He's somewhat proven, as I would call it. You know, they've done well. They've showed they've got talent. It's not just whimsical, and it's not just something that's been, you know, it's not a myth. They're very good players. but they've still got room to grow and they've got room to settle into a system. So I think for me to play out on the left, I would get Angel Di Maria out on the right and start to stretch teams a little bit. We saw at the weekend we're a little bit rigid. Start to stretch teams out on the wings.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree with that. And Martin, as obviously a Dutch football expert, he's a left-sided player, isn't he? Do you expect him to come into United and do a better job than Ashley Young?
It wouldn't be that hard, right? But yeah, he's indeed a left winger with a right footed. So yeah, he will play on the left wing if they will play 4-3-3 with Van Gaal.
Van Gaal does love that. Does love the wrong-sided player on each side, doesn't he? He likes having right footers and left footers on the opposite side.
I was going to say as well, Martin, Depay has also had a lot of attention, a lot of press for his free kick abilities as well this season. Obviously, I don't watch Dutch football regularly, so I don't know how many free kicks he has taken this season. I've seen some wonder goals from him from set pieces. But in terms of set pieces, how good is he at swinging that ball into the box and taking the free kicks and finding the top corner?
He is really, really good. Again, with the Ronaldo comparison, if you look at Ronaldo, he's constantly firing from every angle, but when you take a look at the numbers, Depay is arguably better with free kicks. He has scored 5 or 6 free kick goals this season, and not that many attempts from free kicks. So it could be a weapon when it doesn't go your way.
I mean, he was just such a talent at such a young age for such a price.
Can I say something? I think Martin's absolutely spot on. I think it's a great asset. I think you're right as well, but I think that's something we have lacked. We've got free kick ability inside, but no one has you look at the penalty at weekend. We've got no one that's really been stepping up for set pieces and has really delivered anything special. We know we've got players that are capable, but I think someone else coming in that's clearly got a talent for whipping a ball in, or striking a ball from a dead ball situation is a great asset, and we need to start nailing someone down to that position. And if he's in the side, there's no reason why it couldn't be Depay.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And Martin, finally from you, is he a Manchester United star for the future? Would he end up our new Cristiano Ronaldo for you?
I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but we have seen him grow in the last season and a half. He is dominating on the World Cup. He scored there. So I won't be saying that he will be the next Ronaldo, but he will be one. He will be a great player for United. That's for sure.
Martin, thank you for jumping up and jumping on with us so quickly. Martin from TotalDutchFootball.com. Go check out. He's got more details online of the Memphis Depay deal, and he'll also be covering on there all of the transfers across the Eredivisie into the Premier League and other leagues as well. An exciting time, though, Martin, for Dutch football at the moment, right?
Yeah, it's a brilliant time. We have a lot of great players like Tadic, Pelle, Alderweireld. And now Depay in the Premier League. It's fantastic. We are proud that our Eredivisie, which isn't to be compared with the Premier League, is delivering so many players who are playing really, really good in the Premier League.
Yeah, I've got to say a massive thank you to Martin for jumping on. And if you've missed the breaking news, Memphis Depay will sign for Manchester United this summer as long as all the formalities go well. Martin has revealed to us that he'll fly to Manchester today, to complete that medical. Price is rumoured around €30 million. And Martin, just quickly, just to end on the discussion of the Depay deal, obviously we'll come to Adam for another insight from United's perspective in a minute, but there's always been linked to the Januzaj loan move, possibly linked to it. Are there any whispers of that at the moment, or do you think it will be a straight cash deal for this one?
PSV is rumored to be interested in a few Eredivisie players, and it will be a great signing, but I'm guessing that PSV will buy one of the players in the Eredivisie instead of loaning Januzaj, which could be a great deal, but I don't see it happening.
Okay, Martin, thank you very much for that. Adam, coming over to you, mate. Where does this leave Mata? Where does this leave Di Maria? Where does it leave Van Persie, Falcao, Januzaj, Wilson? I mean, Depay, first of all, great signing. Got to all agree on that one. but what does it do to our squad?
It leaves us with a stronger squad. You know, we've got to remember that next season, Ben, we're also, fingers crossed, but as far as I'm concerned, we're in the Champions League next season. And if we're going to be in Europe and we're going to be fighting, you need a strong bench, you need a strong squad, you need people fighting for positions. Look at earlier on in the season when we struggled with injuries. You know, we had no one that was capable of coming in. Now, I take your point. You know, we've got to keep players happy. But you need a strong squad. You look at how well Chelsea have done this season, and they've had players in positions that they can bring in all the way through. Diego Costa's been injured for a large portion of the season at different stages, and they've brought in the likes of Remy and Drogba. You know, and they've scored 4 less goals than the Invincibles with 3 games still to play. So we need a strong squad, and I think there's going to have to be some offloading. But I think Van Gaal hasn't quite found the system that he wants to play completely yet. You know, we've seen him kind of trying to hash together based on the players that he's got. Mata won't play out wide eventually. I would be very surprised if he was playing out wide next season. I would have thought he'd come a bit more central in certain games. Van Persie again, I think now will either leave. I don't think he will leave, but I think that's an option. The other one now is I think he'll start being played as a bit part player. I don't think he's going to be playing every game. I think he'd happily stay with Van Gaal and play a little bit more for Manchester United for another season, another 2 seasons, in a, you know, not a benched role, so to speak, but I think coming in as and when needed. And I think Rooney is still our striker. We've got to start to bleed in young talent now as well. But I don't think signings suddenly mean that we've got to get rid of everyone. You know, we need to have that strong squad. And I think the one thing you would ask of Van Gaal next season, post the summer, is to make sure that we've got a happy bench. We want players coming on who are confident, you know, who are content with their role. And if we can get that, I think we've got a really good chance, because we've got some great talent in that squad now. And based on the signing today of Memphis Depay, and based on potential future signings, we've got a fabulous season ahead of us next year, provided we can remain confident within that squad.
Well, what a start to our transfer business. Memphis Depay signs. He will be in Manchester today, according to Dutch journalist and TotalDutchFootball.com. Martin has broken the news to us. On top of that, the fees are around €30 million. Guys, make sure you subscribe. If you've got a Gmail account, log in. Make sure you comment, like the video, press subscribe as well. You could be in with a chance of winning 2 tickets to United Bayern Legends game. So make sure you subscribe. Check out the competition. A brilliant prize. You can have an amazing day out in summer at Old Trafford thanks to us, and we'll have no qualms in giving you that prize. All you've got to do is subscribe to this channel. We've just reached 2.5k, which is amazing. Thank you for subscribing. And of course, in the new season, the United View and Stretty News TV coming together to bring you more content like this. We want your views on absolutely everything United this summer. On top of that, we've got some other cool competitions and loads coming up as well, plus more live shows than ever before. Martin from TotalDutchFootball.com, thank you very much, mate.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
And Adam Sweeney, of course, you can catch him blogging online and tweeting away as well, and plus on more of our shows. Thank you for coming on, mate.
Top stuff. Cheers, guys.
No problem at all. Memphis Depay signs. We are celebrating. Make sure you join in the Stretty News fun for the rest of us today at Stretty News TV on Twitter. Press subscribe. We shall see you next time. Come on, United.